Welcome guys to another episode on the Extra Mile. My name is Alex and welcome to the second sound mod episode where we dive a little bit deeper into FMOD and what it can do. And our basis for all of this work will be this lovely document, the audio pipeline version 1.9, and there is a lot of stuff that's being explained here. You can find that in your Assetto Corsa root folder when you go to SDK and then audio, and there you have that PDF. And we also have a lovely FMOD project file, which is a sample project that we can take a look at. So let's actually open that up. So this is what the interface looks like. It seems pretty harmless at first glance, but it gets more complex. So here we have all the sounds that are related to the sample project, which is the Tortoise open wheeler. So here, for example, if we click on the backfire sounds, you can hear them, and you can also hear that there are multiple sounds playing because this is a multi-sound sample, and here we have all the single samples that go in there, actually quite a few. 9 different samples, and here they all are. I think we can play them here as well. There we go. So we do have a little bit of an idea what we have to do with our backfire samples, for example. We have to clean them up. This is a little bit longer, but you can see they're all between 0.3, 0.2 seconds and 2 seconds, so pretty short samples. When we get to the engine, let's go to the internal engine sounds, it gets a little bit more complicated. And these are the single samples. That is the 500 RPM sample, the idle sample basically, that kind of overlaps with this one, which overlaps with this one. And yeah, so this is what we will have to create. We have the limiter sound here as well. Can we play that by its own? No, that's not. Ah, here we can. So when I open up my sample here, that is pretty much what I have to use for this sound. And I think it sounds pretty good actually. This is the internal reframer sound. I will have to record all of that stuff again for the external sounds. But the next step would be to isolate maybe, let's say, this part here. Obviously, I have to dig deeper into this and make sure that the sample loops correctly. So for example, we want to use the peak here. Actually, let's try that. Why not? And the peak there. Let's use that. And then let's extract that, do a new file. And can we loop that a few times? Is that possible? Okay, I think that might have worked. Okay, we can hear that it's not looping perfectly. Nah, still not perfect. You can hear it looping a little bit. But yeah, so that's pretty much the process. Another thing that we can take a look at, let's go back to the FMOD project, is what do we have here? Gear. Oh, that's the gear shift sound. That's gear grind. We will not have that. That sounds horrible. Gear internal sound. Okay. Horn, we will record that. Limiter again. Ah no, that's the limiter. You can hear this one looping as well, actually. But I think that should work roughly. Skid sounds we will probably take from other cars. I don't know if I can record that, but actually I would be interested to hear how that sounds. We might be able to get something like that. Yeah, okay, I have to think about that. Internal, let me see if that is the same sound, just a little bit different. Oh no, that's a different one. Okay, interesting. Traction control, I have no idea what that could be. Ah, I see, that's for the engine sound, I think. Transmission, let's take a listen here. That doesn't seem to be anything. Ah, here, there we go. Okay, that's the gear whine. We will not need that. Turbo, that's interesting. How does that work? Let's go to the boost setting. Okay. That's pretty weak. Let me see. I want to know what the sample itself looks like. That's it? That's very interesting. Okay, wheel sound. Ah, okay, brake sounds and stuff. Interesting. Can't hear anything here. Maybe there are no brake sounds. I am no... Ah, okay, tire rolling. Let's listen to that. Okay, and wind. I was thinking about recording that. Don't really hear anything, actually. Wind draft. Let's listen. Pretty long, rough sample. Okay, got it. That's another one. Okay, I was thinking about recording that on the Autobahn, drive really fast and record the wind noise. I think I can do that. Very interesting. So yeah, that's basically what we have to work with here. We will not need the turbo sounds. We can use this template project as yeah, well, a template basically. We can replace one effect after another and then start to build our own sound mod. Okay, so now that we know that, let's try to work on some samples, I would say. Okay, so we can see here we need to create Windows audio files. So let's actually start with our limiter sample. I think that's not too bad. If the looping is too annoying, we can start to redo that, but I think we should start with that. Okay, I think that is it. Let's see if the file has been created. Mod files, there it is. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Alright, so one file down. Many more to go. Okay, let's do something a little bit more difficult. Let's start with this. 1500 RPM sample. Let's actually go back to the engine interior sound. That's the idle sound. Let's listen to that. Okay, very nice. Let's go to this one. Interesting. You can hear that it's not quite uniform. There's a little bit of variation in the sample. It's a 4-second sample. That's very interesting. What do we have here? Even longer sample, 10 seconds. That's a pretty constant sound. Very different actually in the tone than this one. Huh. Interesting. Let's listen to this. 8 seconds. Okay. And when it all works together, let's do it like that. Ah, right. Since they overlap, interesting, very interesting. Okay, I think we know what to do. Let's see what we can do with this sample here. There's a little bit of ticking. I don't know if that picks up in the recording here, but there's a little bit of background there. There. But I think we can isolate the part. Let's start with that. Okay, the little ticking sound is still there at the beginning. Whoa. Let's try that again. Yeah. Ah, I like that. I like that. I like that. It sounds pretty good. Okay, let's move that over. I think that's very good. That's very good, guys. Progress, progress. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, let's cut that out. So it's not a super long sample. I wonder what would happen if we copied it. Okay. Copied it. There's a little bit of a ticking noise. So let's find out where exactly that ticking sound is coming from. There it is, a little ticking sound. Okay. Yes! No ticking noise anymore. That's a really good sample. That's good. So this is a 1500 RPM sample. This is basically the lowest RPM that I can record in the car because of the torque converter. I cannot go lower. As soon as I start to put my foot on the gas when the car is idling, even when it's in gear, it will rev up to this RPM range, 1500. That's the lowest I can do. So my plan is to use this for the on-throttle idle sound as well. And just manually correct the pitch a little bit, something like that. I'm still not sure, but yeah, that's awesome. Another sample down. That's awesome. That little crackling you hear, that's because of the looping here. But yeah, it sounds good. It sounds pretty damn good actually. Let's compare that with the FMOD file here. And again. I think that's pretty good, guys. I think that's pretty good. Okay, let's do one more. I will not do all of those with you guys here because I think the video will get too long and a little bit too boring. You get the picture, I think. But yeah, let's... No, we don't need to save that. Let's go for one more on throttle 2K. Ah, a lot of background noise. Nah, I can't use that. I think the 2K sample might be something that I will have to re-record. I'm not happy with that recording at all. Let's check into 3K and see if we can get something useful out of this. Oh, that's better. Yeah. I think that works. It's a little bit of background noise towards the end there. And we should get rid of this part back here where the background noise is. I think we should try something here. Let's use this part roughly. Yeah. That's clean. Okay, let's listen. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Let's copy that. Let's loop that. Let's listen in. Okay, again there's a tiny little bit of a ticking noise. Okay, well I got it out of the first sample, so I will get it out of this one. It's easy as that. Let's isolate it. Okay, come on. No more clicking. Fuck! Oh man, why? Maybe someone among you can tell me what I'm doing wrong here. I think it's right here. Because I don't understand why it keeps clicking. But let's try again to cut the clicking out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think there's another audio software that might be better suited for this job. Maybe this is more for recording and not so much for working with the files. I will export this anyway and see how it will sound in Engine, but I'm a little bit confused right now. Anyway guys, this was the first look and the first look at preparing the samples. We got at least 2 very good samples out of this. I will continue to work on this. If you guys know... That one is awesome. If you guys know... That's pretty good as well. And here... Yeah, we have that ticking sound. But anyway, if you guys know better software to work on this, please let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Is this ticking sound that we hear in the middle and at the end of the sample, that one, is that coming from Audacity? Is that coming from the sample? The weird thing is that I've cut out this ticking noise, I don't know, 4 or 5 times basically in a row now, and it persists in different forms, and I'm thinking that it might be caused by Audacity at this point, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, this is the first look at the samples. We are making progress. There's still a lot of work to be done until we get to play with FMOD a bit more and integrate all these samples into FMOD. But we will be getting there. The first step is getting all the samples pretty much perfect. I will probably have to do a lot of re-recording and more recording of the external sounds and the horn and all that kind of stuff, maybe the skit sounds. And yeah, so I hope you could learn something here. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next episode, guys. Bye bye.